Howdy. So I saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1, yesterday, and I enjoyed it. I'm giving it an 8. I can't help but give it an 8 because it's kind of a spectacle and an event picture. I thought it was really good. It's about a lot. It starts out, this is the cumulative chapter of the Harry Potter saga. I think, don't hold me to this, I am not the book guy. I think there's 6 books. There will be 7 movies. Again, please don't hate me because I don't know how many books there are. I think there's 6 books. There's going to be 7 movies. This is the 6th film. I've seen all of the Harry Potter movies in the theater. At least, that's it. The one time I saw them, it was in the theater, so I feel happy about that. I felt a little lost a bit because I couldn't actually remember what the movie was before this one. I had to look it up, and it's The Half-Blood Prince. I saw The Half-Blood Prince in the theater, but I hadn't seen it since, so I was trying to remember what had happened. Luckily, there's a slight recap at the beginning, but that slight recap was definitely important because I did not remember huge, massive events that happened in the story. So I was thankful for the recap due to poor memory and not seeing the film for, it's been 2 years, 2 summers, I don't know. So again, I knew I was going to see Harry Potter in the theater just because I've seen every other Harry Potter in the theater. And even if I never see them again, I saw them in the theater the way they are meant to be seen, and I'm done with them. So what I was going to talk about, this movie is about a lot. This is the cumulative chapter. All of the characters are in crisis mode. It starts out with everyone on the run, and Voldemort, the bad guy, is chasing them all down. So I almost feel like I don't know what to tell you what it's about because it's about a lot. And most likely if you're watching it, you know the characters somewhat. But there's lots of story here, enough to make, what will probably be in total a 5 to 5.5 hour film out of one book. And it also makes me mad that they didn't make 2 movies out of the other books because I thought the other books were just as thick, or at least a couple of them were just as thick as the Deathly Hallows. But yet they only get 1 movie, and it makes me mad that, why didn't they make 2 movies of, at least Half-Blood Prince or one of the other ones that could have used more than 2.5 hours to tell. Anyway, I think it's a good thing that they're dividing it up into 2 movies because the story was a lot more involved. I felt taken into the world more than any other Harry Potter movie I've watched. And my favorite Harry Potter movie was the one where they time travel. I think it's Goblet of Fire. But they're time traveling, and I think Harry fights a dragon. But the time traveling is what I remember, and that was my favorite movie. And until now, I think especially when you match with Part 2, I think this will be better. It felt very real. It did an excellent job at creating its own world, which is what a film is supposed to do, and it did a great job at that. It's very emotional. It's very cinematic. The special effects are fantastic. Again, the craftsmanship of this film is pretty much why I'm giving it an 8. I'm trying to think of why I'm not giving it a higher score. And maybe, I don't know why I'm not giving it a higher score. Maybe it's just because I felt a little, I felt a little lost at the beginning. But that's my own fault. I could have rented the film and refreshed my memory. But I know it's a solid 8. I know it's a solid 8. The acting's great. Maybe, the characters, they seem to come in and leave, and I'm never sure like why, or like what are they going to go do now, and I want to see what they're going to go do, and we don't get to see that. And I've had a feeling, well, maybe if I read the book, then I'd know what was going on. But again, I think it's a solid 8. I mean, if you want me to give it a 9, I could probably be talked into giving it a 9. But again, solid 8, I think is fair. Acting's good, very well directed. I can't remember who directed this. I know it's somebody who's good and who's directed some other ones. As far as Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter. Emily Watson, I don't know. All the people. Ralph Fiennes is in it a little bit as Voldemort. He's great. Voldemort's a really cool looking character. Alan Rickman sadly is not in it much at all, but I have a feeling he'll be in part 2 quite a bit. Alan Rickman is like, other than Gary Oldman, has been my favorite character of the saga, or at least actor of the saga. I mean, it's a good movie. It's a great popcorn movie. Of course you should see it in the theater. It's meant to be seen in the theater. I think it's silly to wait to watch it at home unless you have an exemplary home theater system. So I would definitely recommend going to see it in the big screen. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you probably already have. You probably waited up at midnight and, fought with Voldemort in the parking lot. I don't know. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time. But again, I've seen every Harry Potter movie in the theater, and so I knew this was going to be no different. But I'd have to say that I enjoyed it more than any of the other ones. It felt very paced. It felt very adult. I mean, there were some serious things going on here. A lot of people die. Maybe not a lot, and I have a feeling that more will die. But, people die in this movie. So it felt very cinematic. It felt very real, even though it's obviously in no way real. So I enjoyed that. And the special effects, I mean, amazing. Oh, one thing I will point, there's an animated sequence where somebody, a reporter or something, he's a member of the Deathly Hallows Club. He tells the story of the Deathly Hallows, of the 3 brothers, and it switches to animation. I mean, computer animation, pretty sure, computer animation, for, I mean, maybe 5 to 7 minutes to tell this story. For that 5 to 7 minutes, I was transfixed. I thought the animation was amazing. It was my favorite part of the movie. In fact, I was like wanting a whole lot more of that. Give me a whole movie, of this guy telling stories in this animation style. I thought it was eye-popping. It was by far my favorite part of the movie, because I'm a big fan of animation, and I thought the animation was unbelievable. I mean, it just drew me in right away. It was my favorite part. It's definitely what I've been thinking about of the film since, though I have kind of mostly forgotten it. Really, I'm ready for the sequel. I'm ready to go. I've got to wait like 8 months, but I'm ready. So, Harry Potter, The Deathly Hallows, I'll give it an 8. See it on the big screen. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you're obviously going to love it. If you're a fantasy action fan, you're going to like it. It's a good movie. It's Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows. It's an 8. Check it out.